What's up, guys? We're doing a little story time today. Today we're doing the story of the Night of the Bats. Now this is a true story. It really did happen. And I know it really did happen because the person it actually did happen to was me. Without further ado, here is the Night of the Bat. Okay, so the backstory is that several years ago when I was 5 years old, maybe 6, I think I was about 5 years old, my family went to Colorado, to the Rocky Mountains, to stay in a cabin that was located kind of near Pike's Peak, near Colorado Springs, Colorado. Okay, so we get to this cabin, and let me kind of explain the layout of this cabin to you. You walk in, and there's this kind of open area. It's not huge. It's small, pretty small, but there's this open area where there's like this old rustic couch sitting there. There's a fireplace, and there's a small kitchenette. Past the kitchenette, or right next to the kitchenette, there's a tiny hallway, just not even really a hallway, more of an alcove, and there's a room. Sister and I saw that. My sister, who is about 3 years older than I am, we saw that and we thought, you know what? We'd like to sleep up there. That would be fun. So we tell our mom and dad, hey, can we go sleep up there? And mom and dad are like, yeah, sure, that's totally fine. You can go sleep up there. It'll be really great. So the first night we're there, my sister and I are in this upper loft area. We look up and we see there's something flying around the inside of the cabin. And we think there's birds out there. And so we're on this big camping trip, and we're really excited. You know, we're going to get to see deer, we're going to see all kinds of wildlife. And the first night we're there, we see birds flying around the inside of our cabin, so we're super excited about it. Stayed up for hours watching these birds. The following morning we go up and we say, hey Mom, we saw birds that were flying around the inside of the cabin. And Mom gets this really kind of concerned look on her face. She goes, oh, that's really nice, sweetheart. Why don't you guys sleep down away the birds? We don't bother the birds. So the next day, during the day, on our second day there, we went out and we went canoeing. We went on like an archery trip. We did a number of things that were a lot of fun. You know, just woodsy stuff, things that I actually still love doing as an adult. The next night, we move all our stuff from this upper area down to the lower bedroom where the two other twin beds were. We go in, we go to sleep. The door is cracked open. So that a significant amount of light is pouring into it. This isn't like a rustic cabin that has like nothing but candles and stuff. There's actually electricity at this cabin. Anyway, there's light pouring into this room so you can see really well. I don't know what time this happened, but at some point I woke up to a blood-curdling scream. And I shot out of bed and I looked over at my sister, who is laying flat on her back on the bed, and she has got a bat standing on her chest, and she is screaming like mad. She's going completely crazy. So seconds later, my dad comes busting in the room, and he opens the door, and the room just floods with light. Like, it's bright in this room all of a sudden. And instead of there being one bat that's centralized on my sister's chest, there's actually 15 billion of them, and they have a wingspan of about like 30 feet. Like, they're huge bats. Right now, again, this is from the perspective of a 5-year-old, and I'm an adult now, and I'm a little bit more reasonable than I was when I was 5 years old. So I know that there were not, you know, millions and millions of bats with a giant wingspan. There was probably 5, maybe 6, and they had a wingspan of about a foot. So my dad had come busting in the room, and he's got this broom, and he's just swinging it wildly at these bats, trying to knock them away. And a couple of seconds later, my mom comes in the room, and one of the bats swoops down into my mom's hair, just kind of grazes her hair just a little bit. My dad takes a swing at it, and he doesn't hit my mom. He grazes the top of her hair. It was, oh. My mom grabs us, charges out, through the main room, out the front door, to the car. She yells at my sister, get in the car. She opens up the door, picks me up by the pants. I'm 5 years old. She picks me up by the pants and hucks me into the car. She doesn't open the door and say, okay, get in. And threw me into the car and slammed the car door, got into herself. My sister, on the other hand, did not get into the car. She took off running like a shot down the road. She's sprinting down the road. Seconds after we leave, my dad comes out of this cabin, and my mom just goes, "Get Melissa!" And Dad sprints down the road to get her. My dad was a marathon runner at this point, so it wasn't a problem him catching like 8-year-old girl. He runs down, he grabs her, brings her back, puts her in the car. And there was a friend of my dad's who was staying in a nearby cabin, and we went and spent the night. The remainder of the night in their cabin. They were very welcoming to us. The following day, we went to the main office of where these cabins were located, and they gave us another cabin. Now, the fun side of this story is I was 5 years old when that happened. Many years go by. I was a United States Marine, and I'd done one tour in Iraq. I was a hard-charging warrior, right? Like just a Marine, right? I go to the Portland Zoo in Portland, Oregon, and they have a bat cave at the zoo in Portland. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's been a long time since that happened. I was 5 then. I'm rough and tough adult right now. I'm a hard-charging warrior right now. And I decided I'm going to go into that bat cave. Took one step in and locked right up. I am terrified of bats. They scare the ever-loving hell out of me. They make me freeze up. My sister also hates bats. She can't stand them. She doesn't like looking at pictures of them. I can't stand them. I can't stand looking at pictures of them. I think they are the most disease-ridden, disgusting fucking creatures you'll ever see in your entire life. That is my story for Storyteller Tuesday. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.